ENAUTO Section 7 Summary Challenge, Implementing Automation in Enterprise Networks. This section is actually kind of all around DNA Center. What are two skills that humans perform better than machines? Thinking critically, probably yes. Executing repeatable tasks with a predefined context, this is better for machines. Finding creative solutions, that's a human property. Operating at scale, that's better for robots. Managing lots of different data sets at the same time, again, this is for machines. What Cisco DNA Center functionality is used to integrate other adjacent applications and systems like an IPAM or ITSM? So IPAM stands for IP address management. These are systems which manage kind of IP address pools. And in order to, I guess, to keep them consistent across the enterprise, dedicated systems are used for that. And ITSM stands for IT Service Management. This is generally the management systems for overall IT infrastructure. So and how the question is other adjacent applications. What functionality is used to integrate with these systems? So REST-based integration adapter APIs, device packs, multi-vendor Java SDK, or intent API. So let's start from the bottom here. Intent API is what is the northbound API, right? So it is done. It allows the business-driven intent to be imposed on the network through DNA Center, right? And then DNA Center would manage all the configurations and make sure everything is configured properly. So that's not for integration with side systems. Multi-vendor Java SDK and device packs, I think these are same, if not, similar, if not same thing, right? And these are solutions to allow expansion of the southbound DNA Center API in order for third-party vendor devices to be discoverable for DNA Center, right? So DNA Center would be able to at least get some basic information about these devices and then display them in the dashboards and treat them appropriately. And the correct answer to this question must be the integration adapter APIs, and they are REST-based, like so many things right now. Match the Cisco DNA Center feature to its description. All right, automated device discovery, zero-touch device deployment, drag-and-drop policy creation. So policy-based automation, discovery, context-guided analytics, network automation. I don't remember these terms specifically. Let's see other policy workflows that govern the relationship between endpoint groups or applications. That's policy-based automation. That's, I guess, the first is probably network automation. All right. Closed loop automation with guided remediation with the network as a sensor. Okay, analytic, threat detection, and traffic patterns to notify the business of issues. So that's probably, is it security? Yeah, it's probably security, right? So then these two, device discovery, that must be network automation because these are kind of lower level, straightforward devices, boxes, we need to manage them. Policies here though as well. Okay, anyway, and then context guided analytics is a closed loop automation with guided remediation with a network as a sensor. All right, these are a little bit unclear, but I'll keep it as is. Question 4, match each of the Cisco DNA Center intent API domains to its definition. All right, there is a bunch of domains, and we have quite a list here. Okay, good. Create a security token and authorize each requested operation according to the access privileges. So anyway, create security token, which will then be used to authorize all subsequent requests. This is the authentication API, right? So should be this one. There we go. View details about clients, sites, topology, devices, and issues. Create, manage sites, devices, IP pools, and so on. So that should be site management API. All right. The next one is help to provision enterprise networks with zero-touch deployment. So zero-touch deployment, is it operational tools? There is definitely some. There's network discovery under operational tools, right? So that's, I guess, belongs here. Provides the means for configuring and managing fabric, wired, and non-fabric wireless networks. So that's connectivity. Somehow connectivity domain has just two subdomains, and they both kind of belong to SDA, software-defined access. One domain is the fabric, SDA fabric, pretty much for wired devices. Another one is for non-fabric wireless devices, because wireless devices are still not that ideally integrated, I guess. Okay, enables you to configure and manage CLI templates, discover network devices, configure network settings, and trace paths through the network. Well, that must be operational tools, right? So that doesn't belong here. That belongs over here. That's operational tools. Okay. Yeah, and templates though. Okay, yeah. Enables creation of application policies that are used to reflect your organization business intent. So that's definitely something about policy, right? Business intent, and translates them into network-specific and device-specific configurations required by the different types, makes, models, and so on, all kinds of devices. All right? Provides the ability to receive custom notifications when specific events are triggered. That's event management for sure, right? Yeah, so you can subscribe at different events, and the center will be notifying your external applications through the API when something happens. Okay, let's see if Know Your Network belongs here. Helps to provision enterprise networks with zero-touch deployment. No, it doesn't really belong. Okay, so something must be wrong a little bit here. So, device onboarding and device provisioning is probably part of the. So provisioning, as I understand, is like once device is claimed to a site, it's configured with a specific kind of configuration and services which belong to that site. So that should be then site management, right? And then, yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? Know your network. It's view details about clients, know your network, sites, topology, devices, and so on. And you can manage sites, devices, IP pools, and so on, right? So it's one thing which is a little bit confusing, and it is still confusing, but it's important to remember, is that sites are things like create sites, manage them, is not done under site management. Yes, and I will probably double check later, but it was a little bit confusing for me as well. Site management API domain does not, it does not implement managing of sites. This is weird, but that's what it is, right? So site management is kind of lower level stuff. So you design site, provision devices there. You specify some settings for this side there. Manage device onboarding and things like that. Yeah, but the where you actually create sites and assign devices to sites, that happens under the Know Your Network API. Is it logical? Not too much, I guess, but that's what it is. Okay. Question 5. For which Cisco DNS Center functionality is used to integrate multi-vendor support? Device packs and the DNS Center multi-vendor Java SDK. There was a question similar to this. Intent API is northbound. Design policy provision assurance, they are different phases. Are they phases? No, they're not phases. I forgot what's the term for this, but these are different, basically, steps in the life cycle. And Cisco Plug and Play is one example of a zero-touch provisioning or zero-touch deployment protocol. What is one Cisco DNS Center network management capability? All right, network management capability. So network management capabilities, we have policy-based automation. Yeah, I think that's one of them. Right. So there are two types of capabilities, right? One is network management, and another one is IT process automation, and that's kind of like just two big domains of tasks, right? And one is to manage the network and infrastructure specifically for the network, and another one to enable integration with larger context of general IT processes and automation for these processes. Right, so things like integrate these workflows with applications, so centralized logging, not only for the network, but for larger context. And this one is called IT process automation. But anyway, the kind of the first one, which is not just about network, it is network management, and policy-based automation is something which DNS Center does within this capability domain. Auditable and logged workflows, that's more for the second. This is more for IT processes. Integrations of workflows and applications as well, and data center management. Data center management is outside of the context of DNS Center. All right, and the last question, where can the Cisco DNS Center intent API documentation be found? Interesting, there was no any single question about specific API request format and structure. But anyway, Platform Developer Toolkit, I just remembered because I just did the lab on a few minutes ago. Yeah, but this is something which probably worth remembering.